Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a tribute reaction, man. This is a tribute reaction to the late, great Peter Green. Peter Green, of course, we know as being a founding father of Fleetwood Mac. And whenever you say Fleetwood Mac to me now, I don't think first of Buckingham Nicks. I think of the Peter Green era, the true Fleetwood Mac foundation, man. So I was at work, and my pops never ever uses the phone for anything. He is not a fan of technology in the least. I get a call on my damn phone. Hey boy, you gotta get home and do a tribute, man. Peter Green passed away. He was really upset. So I'm like, oh my gosh, man, Peter Green. I was at work. So, going along the course of my time there, Wayne, are you listening? I wasn't listening. So my supervisor, Steven, he's like, yo, man, get out of here. Go home and do that thing that you do, right? So shouts out to you, Steven, my supervisor. Yo, man, Peter Green, damn. It's a blessing for all of us that he's been around this long. Let's face it. You know what I'm saying? Going back to his time and those years of hard drug use and all of that sort of thing. He was very, very fortunate and blessed to be around after that period and to have actually lasted this long, recovered, and, went out very gracefully. So shout outs to you, Peter Green. You are definitely a great inspiration, man. So this is what I'm going to do. Got a longtime subscriber who sent me this notification as well, and also provided some links for Peter Green reaction. So first off, shouts out to Tom Gallup. Tom, thank you very much. I appreciate you sending me these links, man. Tom has a note for us. He said, hi, SDB. As you know by now, my favorite blues man, Peter Green, has passed away. Here's links to 3 numbers I'm sure every Peter Green fan will enjoy. As well, Gary Moore has a few nice things to say about the man in this short interview. Okay. As Sonny and Brownie once said, you're just a white boy playing the blues. I would bet they're referring to Peter Green. Thanks, and let's get it. Okay, thank you, Tom. Appreciate that, man. All right, so the tracks that Tom has sent us is I'm Going Down, and these are live, I believe. Then we're going to hit the Gary Moore interview. I'll do my little read portion, and then we're going to hit up Albatross. I know Albatross, that's instrumental. And then finally the Supernatural, and I believe that to be an instrumental as well. And they're all live, I believe. So that is our rundown, man. So let's kick this off with I'm Going Down. The late, great Peter Green, I'm Going Down. Let's get it.
I'm going down, 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 down. I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down. I got my big wheel open. My head, I'm going down. Getting down. And close that barnyard door. In and out. And close that barnyard door. I'm going back to Chattanooga to see my sister. I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down. Yes, I'm going down. window, my head on the ground.
How many people do you think has covered this song?
I'm going down, 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 down. Yes, I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down. I got my big feet in the window. I head up on the ground. Yeah, I'm down. Include that on your door. Even now, include that on your door. I'm going back to Chattanooga to see my sister Irene Flo. I'm going down, 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 down. I said I'm going down, 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 down.
Band jams well.
I got my big feet in the window, my head up on the ground.
They've been at it for a while, you can tell.
Get me down. Include that on your door. Even now, include that on your door. I want back to Chattanooga to see my sister Irene Flo.
Nice. Nice jam. Nice venue. It's not this big sprawling Madison Square Gardens. It's just a nice, intimate venue where you can get up close and personal with the man. You know what I'm talking about? That's the way that you want to absorb and take in an Eric Clapton, a Peter Green, a Jeff Beck. That's the way in a nice venue like this. Excellent, man. Yeah, the Splinter Group. So, okay, that's his band. They've been jamming for a bit, man. Yeah, Peter Green. Definitely a celebration of life. And that, yeah, man, 73. He was 73. Yeah, again, a blessing and a miracle that he was with us this long based on the past. We'll get into that a little bit more. I remember on a personal level where when I started my channel, I believe that it was it no, it was January of 2019 that Fleetwood Mac became Artist of the Month. And at the time, I went into it with two approaches. I knew about the Buckingham Nicks era, but I wasn't aware that they had such deep roots going all the way down to what's the other lad's name that helmed Fleetwood Mac for a while after Peter Green? Bob something. And then you got Peter Green, the founding father with John McVie and Mick Fleetwood, Danny Kerwin, and there was another guitarist, sorry I forgot his name. But anyway, yeah, so these five guys started Fleetwood Mac, and I was really impressed by what I uncovered. And so approaching my Artist of the Month, I realized, I am going to start from the very beginning and then work my way to the present, being more the recent Buckingham Nicks era. And so I'm very glad that I did, because it gave me great orientation and great familiarity with Peter Green. And so when you talk to me now about Fleetwood Mac, I think Peter Green first before I think Buckingham Nicks. All those, was it Bob Cross in the mid-era? So you had Peter Green, and then you had the Bob Cross years, and then you had Buckingham Nicks. I'm wrong about Cross being his surname, but you know who I'm referring to. Yeah, man, and so it was really cool to go through that whole process, have a whole month to go through that process and get acquainted with the Peter Green era being the foundational cornerstone of the band. And it's great that Fleetwood Mac has such a rich history. They must be really proud of their foundation and their heritage and their, and their roots. So yeah, man, Peter Green at the helm of all of that. And I know that he's very renowned, not only by the fan base, but all of the music world. The music world definitely holds Peter Green in a very special place, as I do, because I really got a lot out of that Artist of the Month for that particular month. The 2 months that I really got the most out of Artist of the Month was the Fleetwood Mac month, and then the Who month. This was just past April. And again, shout out to my supervisor, Stephen. Unbeknownst to me, the Who's his favorite band. And he said, all right, you can cut out early, man. Go do that thing that you do. And so I got a tremendous amount of time in to do Artist of the Month for the Who. And I needed it, man, because, the body of their work was vast. But that's the most, besides the Fleetwood Mac era, that's the most amount of reactions I've ever been able to log in for Artist of the Month, those 2 periods. So yeah, man, it was really great to get to know Peter Green and Danny Kerwin, and forgive me for the third guitarist that was in the lineup at that point. Yeah, there was Danny Kerwin, there was Peter Green, there was John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, and the fifth, I can't remember his name, dark hair, short guy, great singing voice, great blues voice. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so that's the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup that I visualize whenever you say Fleetwood Mac to me now. All right. So, man, let's do a little read of the great Peter Green here, man. And, actually, before I do my read, I forgot. Tom says that there is a short interview with Gary Moore that I should check out as well. Okay, so let's do that. It's only a minute long. All right, this is Gary Moore on Peter Green. Let's get it.
Was the fact that a guy who came from East London, a white Jewish kid who came out and played the blues. His music was very spiritual. It wasn't just someone standing up there playing the guitar. It just seemed like it was coming from somewhere else. And of course, there aren't that many white blues players who have managed to convince people that they were the so-called real thing. But if anyone ever asked me about white blues guitarists, I always point them towards Peter Green and say, well, there you go. And he's had all the accolades that anybody could have, from B.B. King, from everybody. B.B. King said that Peter's tone was the sweetest tone he'd ever had, and it made him sweat, and he said all these amazing things about him. So I think he knows what he's talking about. The guitar that I use is Peter's actual guitar, and I've had that since virtually the time when he left Fleetwood Mac. He let me have that in the early 70s. He let me have it for a few days, and then he called me up and asked me if I wanted to buy it. And I said, well, there's no way I'd be able to afford a guitar like this. And he said, well, if you sell your main guitar, give me whatever you get for that, give it to me, and it would be like kind of swapping guitars, because it wasn't like a money thing. He just wanted it to have a good home. Anyway, I sold my guitar and gave him some paltry amount, which wasn't anywhere near what the guitar was worth, but he let me have it. And I said, well, if you ever want it back, you can have it. And he said, well, I'll never ask you for it back. But I've had it ever since then, and that's the one that's on the album. That's the one I'm playing today.
All right, man. Cool. There you go, man. One great legendary guitarist paying respect to another great legendary guitarist. Doesn't get sweeter than that. And I know that Jimmy Page holds Peter Green in very high regards as well. So, man, I think you're onto something, Tom. Sonny Terry, Brownie McGee, you might be right in that they're probably referring to Peter Green as that great white boy playing the blues. I got to do some research. I wonder if they're actually singing about Peter Green. It would certainly be him, man. All right, so that was cool. Gary Moore, man. Great guitarist, great singer, songwriter. Gone too soon, absolutely. I've done a few Gary Moore. I believe I've done one Gary Moore quad. And then I'd have to do a little bit of looking and digging as to where he was. He was mixed up in another quad. And I've done almost 200 quads now, so I'm gonna have to do some seeking and searching as to where the Gary Moore's reactions are. Alright, so man, Peter Green. Let's do a little background on the great Peter Green. Peter Green, born Peter Allen Greenbaum, 29th of October 1946 to the 25th of July 2020, was an English blues rock singer, songwriter, and guitarist. As the founder of Fleetwood Mac, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '98. Green's songs such as Albatross, Black Magic Woman, Oh Well, The Green Manalishi with a Two-Pronged Crown, and Man of the World appeared on singles charts, and several have been adapted by a variety of musicians. Green was a major figure in the second great epoch of the British blues movement. B.B. King commented, quote, "He has the sweetest tone I've ever heard. He was the only one who gave me the cold sweats," unquote. Eric Clapton praised his guitar playing. He was noted for his use of string bending, vibrato, and economy of style, unquote. Rolling Stone ranked Green at number 58 in its list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. His tone on the instrumental, The Supernatural, was rated as one of the 50 greatest of all time by Guitar Player. In June of '96, Green was voted the third best guitarist of all time in Mojo magazine. Playing style and songwriting. Green has been praised for his swinging shuffle grooves and soulful phases, and favored the minor mode in its darker blues implications. His distinct tone can be heard on the Supernatural, an instrumental written by Green for John Mayall and the Blues Breakers in '67, on their '67 album, A Hard Road. This song demonstrates Green's control of harmonic feedback. The sound is characterized by a shivering vibrato, clean cutting tones, and a series of 10-second sustained notes. These tones are achieved by Green controlling feedback on a Les Paul guitar. Influence. Many rock guitarists have cited Green as an influence, including Gary Moore, Joe Perry of Aerosmith, and Andy Powell of Wishbone Ash, and more recently, Noel Gallagher and Radiohead bassist Colin Greenwood. Green was the Black Crowes' Rich Robinson's pick in Guitar World's 30 on 30, the greatest guitarist picked by the greatest guitarist in 2010. In the same article, Robinson cites Jimmy Page, with whom the Crowes toured. He said, quote, "Jimmy told us so many Peter Green stories. It was clear that he loved the man's talent," unquote. Green songs have been recorded by artists such as Santana, Aerosmith, Status Quo, Black Crowes, Midgar, Tom Petty, Judas Priest, Gary Moore, who also recorded blues for Greenie, an album of Green compositions. All right, let's go down to his personal life. Personal life. Enduring periods of mental illness and destitution throughout the 1970s and 80s, Green moved in with his older brother Len and Len's wife Gloria and his mother in their house in Great Yarmouth, where a process of recovery began. Green lived in Canvey Island in Essex after leaving Fleetwood Mac, and on his death. On the 25th of July 2020, it was announced by the family's solicitors that Green had died peacefully in his sleep at the age of 73. All right, man. Rest in peace, Peter Green. That's the best possible way that you can go, man. I'm very, very glad to know that you weren't in a tremendous amount of pain and that you didn't suffer in your later years. God knows that a lot of people coming up from your time and in the environment that you were in didn't fare as well. So it's a very, very happy ending in regards to how it could have gone, you know? And what am I talking about? Well, if you don't know the story of Peter Green, I remember this well. He partied a lot, in the early 70s. Went to a specific party, I believe it was in Germany, and he took some really, really bad stuff. And sometimes it only takes that one time, and that one time, it messed him up. And so, since then, it's been a little bit of a downward slope for him in regards to his playing, his musicianship, his daily cognitive functioning. All of those things were messed up for a while, so it took him a good long while. Very, very good call on his part to retire to a very peaceful part of the world, chill out for a little bit, be in peace, and just kind of rebuild himself slowly. And so, as you can see now, he is back in good form on stage in his older years, now has a mastery of his art once again. You know, it's the best way to go out. So, that in a nutshell is his story. And it's a very successful one in music, let me tell you, because, 1 out of a million would actually be able to recover and then go on and then go out gracefully like this. So yeah, man, it's saying a lot. It's the best outcome that you could have hoped for Peter Green. All right, now, what I'm going to do here, man, is let's go to our second track, and that being the instrumental Albatross. I tried to re-upload Albatross onto YouTube. Albatross was attached to Oh Well, and I thought, well, let's see what I can do here. Maybe I can put a couple of breaks in between. Sometimes that allows it, but it wasn't allowing it, so I completely severed the two. Oh Well made it up, but Albatross did not. So I'm glad that you included Albatross in this triple shot, Tom. Fingers crossed, let's assume that it's going to make it up to YouTube. All right, man. Peter Green and the splinter group, Albatross. Let's get it. Visualizing that video of all the albatrosses just soaring around in the clouds. Masterful. That's a fan favorite for sure. Nice shot of the crowd there. They can be sitting down for this number, but they refuse. Goes to show just how much they love the man, and definitely that number Albatross. Yeah, man, I mentioned the Albatross video being attached to Oh Well. So there's Oh Well and then there's Albatross. It was a double shot, but it didn't make it onto YouTube at all. So it's on my Vimeo, and Fleetwood Mac, they were Artist of the Month in January of 2019. So you'd have a little bit of scrolling to do, but what I'll do is I'll re-upload that reaction onto Vimeo, and then you can just go, so you don't have to do a lot of scrolling to find it. Okay, if you want to see that reaction, it's a great reaction, and the video featuring all of these nice little albatross, not little albatrosses, huge albatrosses soaring around in the clouds. Very, very nice video. All right, yeah, man. The great Peter Green. So what I'll do too is I'll see if I can perhaps re-upload all of the Fleetwood Macs, just like I did with Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and put them into like a playlist, so that, you know, it's nice to be able to see the early, the middle, and then the later years of Fleetwood Mac, you know, because their changes and how time has changed their lineup and changed their sound and everything is really quite something. And to still, throughout all those changes, still be relevant and still be successful and on top of the heap, that is really, really very noteworthy, man. So yeah, I think I'll do that over a period of time. I'll stretch it out though. I won't upload it all in one big slab, because people complain. I'm getting complaints about, oh, you know, don't be uploading this one after the other after the other. What the hell, you know, this isn't cool, you know. So you get that. So I'll stretch it out over a period of time. There's no complaints when I did that with Led Zeppelin, but with everything else, people are complaining. All right. So let us check out our final track, man. And the very, very ever popular The Supernatural. Okay, looks like the same venue, same band. The Supernatural. Let's get it. They're still standing. Some inspiration from this number and his playing style. It's obvious. Sweet. That's excellent, man. This is a short version of The Supernatural. I believe that the studio cut is almost 6 minutes, and this was only 3 minutes. So yeah, it looks like they're kind of scaling back their number and not doing extended jams for some reason in the crowd. Or maybe they're at a festival or something like that, and that they've got to do portions of music. I can understand that if that's the case. All right, man, but that's the supernatural. So first off, Tom, thank you very much, man. These were three excellent features of Peter Green. Also in his later years, he still got it. He still got that swag. He still got the command of his guitar playing, and he can still jam very well with other people. So it's great. It's great to see that, he recovered to the point where, he's still a great musician. And let's face it, if Peter didn't have his great talent, his love for music, and all of that to look forward to, and probably use that as a form of healing and whatnot, he would not have been with us as long as he was. So hey man, shout out to you, Peter, for your great inspiration, your excellent talent, your mastery of your craft, and your love for the industry, man. So many people being influenced by that one thread. God bless you, sir. Rest in peace. All right, man. Oh yeah, and a shout out and rest in peace also to Regis Philbin. Regis, he, of course, TV host. What was it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Regis and is it Kelly? Kathy Lee before her. So yeah, man, a great TV host, great TV personality. Definitely a gentleman in front of the camera. So rest in peace to you too, Regis. I believe Regis was in his later 80s. So I don't know what the cause of death is there. Yeah, but this is the season, man, where we're starting to lose a lot of our great TV personalities, our entertainers, notable persons. It just goes like that. It's a string usually. And so I'm not saying that I'm expecting it, but I'm not going to be surprised if we lose another great hero in music, man. All right. But let's not end that on a sad note. This is a celebration of life, not just merely a tribute to somebody who's departed. I celebrate Peter's life, man, because like I said, he overcame so many obstacles. How many people do you know in his case who would not only be able to survive, but then regrow, reclaim, and thrive again, in his later years when the flush of youth is gone, and still be able to come back and do something marvelous like this. It's definitely the love for his music and his craft, man. So inspirational. So anyways, man, hope you guys enjoyed this reaction and tribute to the great Peter Green. And I gotta call my pops back and console him a little bit. Yeah, this is one of those people that he followed for a long time, and so it's always a punch in the gut for him when one of these great bluesmen pass away. So I feel his pain now that I'm doing my reaction channel and stuff like that. He goes into this state where he just I don't know, he doesn't talk for a while. When certain people have that influence on him, so Peter Green, I think that he's going to be out of it for a couple of days. So I'll give my pops a call and make sure that I touch base with him. I'm just checking out my notes here now. Oh yeah, okay. Led Zeppelin. So I won't be able to get to my Led Zeppelin today. Usually I like to hit up Led Zeppelin on a Saturday, but I'll save that for tomorrow. And of course, reason being with Peter passing, tributes to the dearly departed heroes of music always takes precedence over everything else. So yeah, we'll push Led Zeppelin back for tomorrow. And and I mentioned Regis Philbin passing away. So those were my notes, man. All right, so that is my reaction and my tribute to Peter Green. So everyone have a good one, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for my Led Zeppelin reaction. Peace.